Masechta Baba Basra, Daf Nun Dalad Amud Aleph, starting from the last line of Nun Gimel Amud Beis. Amud Rab Gimel Bira, Amud Rab Yehuda. Rab Gimel Bira had said in the name of Rab Yehuda, "Hi man, this person, Yeshad lifted by Beit Pile the out of the ger, who has thrown in seeds of turnips. It's a mingerek into the cracks of the ground of a ger who had passed away." And we're talking about, that's all he did. He threw it into the ground. He didn't cover the seeds with earth. So, it's not going to be a chazaka. Why? Because he didn't benefit the earth. He didn't do anything to benefit that, to make the earth a better piece of land. He just threw turnip seeds into the ground. That's it. He didn't even cover the seeds. So therefore, it's not going to be a chazaka. And therefore, if another person comes and digs, he's going to be kainet. The second person is going to be kainet, even though the first one threw in turnip seeds into the cracks of the ground. My time, what's the reason? In the time that he threw in the turnip seeds, the earth, the guf hakaka, didn't become a better piece of kaka. Now, even though now the property became better because the turnips rooted into the ground and it grew, that was made a kashavach. This is a shvach, a better, something that became better, not through his maisim, only on its own. Even though he says over here that gathering the turnip seeds that had grown and also eating it that's still nothing. It's not a piula that helps, but there's chazaka because he wasn't misakin the karka. Amashmol hay man de fashach. Dikla. This person who removed all the branches from the tree, and then afterwards he had a mind to be kind of the tree, meaning he pruned the tree. So Adaita the Dikla, if he did it for the tree, for the better growth of the tree, the pruning for the better growth of the tree, then he's kind of the date tree. But if he took off the branches, Adaita the Chevasa, only to feed the animals, Loikani, he's not kind of, because he didn't have the chavana to be misakin to pruning the tree, to be misakin the tree itself. Therefore, it's not a chazaka. Rather, he only had in mind to feed the animals. And even though Lamaisa, the tree taka, became a better tree through him pruning it, but since he didn't have the chavana, his intention was befedish only to feed the animal. So then the chazaka won't help. Just like similar to no parts of God. He has to have, in order that it should be a chazak, he had to have in mind that it should be for the benefit of the tree. So in which way, how will we know if he did a big kavanah for the tree or not? Or for the feed the animal, if he pruned it from all sides, then we have to say that he had intention for the tree. And even if we don't know what his intention was, but if he did it from all sides, we're going to say that probably he did it like derech for the tree. But if he did have only pruned on one side, then we know that his intention was solely only for to feed the animals. Rabbi Shmuel had said, this person removed the obstacles like piles of dirt and piles of dirt and bad grass. And he said, if he did that, he had a mind to be kind of the field. If he did it, if he did it for the benefit of the ground, in order that he should be able to plow, that it should be easier to plow. So we said, he's going to be kind of the karka with a chazaka. But if he swept up the karka, in order to gather the wood for a fire, then it's not going to be a chazaka. Because by just gathering paydays is not going to be a chazaka. Harvesting is not a chazaka. Right? Just like harvesting is not a chazaka. He's gathering the wood for fire is not going to be, is like harvesting, and it's not going to be a chazaka. In what way do we know what his kavanah was? If he took the big piece of wood and the small little twigs and branches, then we say he did it for the ground, for the karka. in order to be able to be chaydish without the charisha getting stuck. But if he took only the bigger pieces of wood and he left the small little twigs, obviously his intention was to use the wood for fire. Shmuel had gesagt, Haiman de Askel Tikla, one who removes all these stumbling blocks, meaning that he straightened out the ground. All these hills, these little hills that were mounds, he smoothed them out. So Adaita the other, if he didn't to be meyap to make the karka better, that it should be easier to plow. So then he's kind of with a chazaka. But and this is pashut that the plow shouldn't get stuck in the karka because of all these mounds. But if he softened it, the karka adaita the veidadi, just in order to be able to use it for a threshing, for the threshing floor, like it's not going to be a kinyan, because the save, there's going to be whatever he's smoothed out, is nothing, because it's only temporary. He's going to now break everything that he had done. He's going to be safe everything that in order to be able to plow. So since the hashvas hakarka that he did over here, you're saying was asis is for the threshing floor. That's called in Hebrew tikkun shasayfei lisasa. It's fixing, but at the end he's going to break it all, and we go according to what the ultimate purpose was of the field. So therefore, it's not, and the ultimate purpose is to plow. So therefore, it's not considered as a tikkun, only a kilkul. But if he did it for threshing, for permanent threshing, then it would have to be a chazaka. But here we're talking about that the ikar was that at the end he's going to use it for charisha, which is going to break everything that he had done till now. And we go according to what the ikar kavana was, and therefore it's not going to be a chazaka by smoothing out the floor for threshing. How do we know what his kavana was? If he took the heaps of dirt, the mounts of dirt, and threw it into the holes, then we say that it's with the intention to benefit the ground. But what if he leveled the ground by flattening just taking the mount and widening it, and filling in the holes to some extent, that he says that he just tried to make as much as he could to fill the ground to be able to use it for threshing. So says the Gemara, then you know that his whole intention was only to be able to thresh the tfuah, but not for plowing. And therefore, it's not going to be a chazaka. This person who opened up and made an opening of water for opening for the taich, for the river, the water should flow into his field, and he opened it in order, and he tied it. The reason why he opened it is to irrigate the field. He says he did it with the intention to irrigate the field. He's kind of the karka with chazaka. But if he did it with the intention to catching the fish, like he's not going to be kind. How's the case talking about? How could you tell what his kavanah was? If he opened two openings for the water, one opening is for the side of the river for the water to come into the field, and another one the chap mapik, and the other side for the water to let out the water that's in the field outside. So I died to the kavri. It was with the intention to catch the fish that come in with the water, and they remain in the field after the water empties out. But so then we know that it wasn't for the benefit of the field. But what's if he opened up only one opening just for the river water to come in to irrigate the field? Then we know his kavanah was nafke to water the land. Sagt Yamara who eats the achletik b'saf shicha. There was a certain woman who ate the fruits of a palm by removing the branches from one side of the tree. And how long did she do it? Place shnim for 13 years. Asahu Rafik to Separta. One person came and dug a little bit under the palm tree. Asla Kameda Levi. That person came before Levi. Ramillah and others say Kameda Ma'ukud. That the one who made a kinyan the karka, I mean the woman came with this person, came before Marukva. Levi, or it was Marukva, placed the person who dug under the tree, who just came right now and was kohenet, versus the woman who was there for 13 years and was consuming the paytas from the palms from the date tree. The woman came and was screaming. I was there 13 years. I was pruning from one side. So I'm my so my ukva or Levi said to her, "What should I do for you? You didn't make a chazaka like normal people make a chazaka in order to be kaina. The right way would have been that you prune it from all sides, but you didn't do that. So this person who dug was kaina Amarav. That's how tzura the one who makes a form in the chasam of the ger. Let's say he draws a picture of a flower. I'm sorry, of an animal there on this ownless property of this ger. Kana, he's going to be kaina. I learned before that if he put plaster on one wall, or it has to be amal ama, and also if he made a tzir, it has to be amal ama, and it has to be connected to Pesach where it's recognizable. These noim were said dafke by such forms of like a flower, of not very detailed. But over here we're talking about he made a tzir of a chaya or of a oif. So this it has such a chshivas that you don't even need amal ama, and you don't even need it at the opening of the house. And that alone will be a kinyan. Rav was not kind of the garden that was samuch to the beis medrash of Rav, and that garden belonged to a ger who had died without yashim. So how was he kainet? Elbet sursa, to making a tzir on one of the walls, and that's how it was kainet. So you see befedish that a tzir is enough to be kainet. And we learned amarayim b'negei hasada of hefkam. So yam has been tzara that was marked from all four sides, the boundaries. Kivan shehikish b'makosh echad. Since this person stuck a spade into the ground, Kanakuli was kind of the whole side of Bekinya Chazaka. And this was, of course, talking about a sada that's Oivin Lecharisha. Once he stuck it into the ground, that's already a kinyan for the whole sada. If he stuck a spade, that's the only place where he's going to be kainet. And the Rashbam explains that Shmuel is talking about only benegay to make a kinyan in a soda. But what's if we're talking about somebody who's buying a field and he paid for it for 10 fields, and now he wants to make a chazaka. So if he makes a chazaka for all the 10 fields, if he makes a chazaka in one field, he's kind of all 10 fields. But that's only benegay to that he already paid for it. But over here we're talking about to acquire for the first time from Hefker, like the Nichse Ger Shemeis. So one second. Shmuel says like only by making a kinyan, he's only going to be kind of the place of the spade itself and nothing more. What's going to be the din where if it wasn't demarked from four sides, like a big gedela, like a big valley which is open to many other fields, or till how much does he have to do to make a kinyan? So this shaila, of course, was only according to Rav. because according to Shmuel, who says you're not koina only the place where you stuck the spade, so Madach he holds by a field which is marked up with the gvulma from four sides. For sure, when it's not marked up, it's not going to be a kinyan. So this is not a shaila. So Papa says, how much does he have to dig? Like said, like a yoke of oxen that goes and returns, and the Rashbam explains that he has to make two shuris from one side to the other, from Tzafin to Darim, or from Mizrach to Ma'ariv, but in such a way that it was chaydish the whole sada. So then he's going to be, then that's the way he's going to make a chazak in the ground on this field. In a place where it wasn't marked, the Gevulim. The nechas bava goy that was sold to a yid, and the guy, the meicha, already received his money, and the yid didn't yet make a kinyan in the karka. Areyem kimitra. This karka has a din from hefker. Calls man the yid didn't make a chazaka. Kol hamasagam on any outsider that will come and make a chazaka into the karka, he'll be kaina zachaber, he'll be zeicher, because the yid, the minute he gave the money to the guy it's chav has nothing to do with the karka. Now the karka is hefker. So it's upon the yid who paid for the karka to immediately make a chazaka or get a star. If the lapse some time between the buyer getting the star or making a chazaka, and somebody else comes in the middle and makes a chazaka, he's saying, my time, what's the reason? The guy, the moment he got the money, he's removed from the property. And therefore the property has a din like hefker. And Yisrael like Kani Adamat Ishtar Liyadi. And the Yid is not going to be Kaina till the Shtar Mechira reaches his hand. And we explained this is only by a guy and a Yid. By a Yid and a Yid, if a Yid sells it to another Yid, even though the Yid got the money, it didn't leave the Meiches the Shus like by the guy. When the guy got the money, it left the Meiches the Shus. By Yid, it leaves the Meiches the Shus only after the Leikeach gets his star. So it's different by a Yid. That's what the Rashbam says. Hilka Babizman, in the time between giving the money and between the Leikeach receiving his star from the guy, that time, these nechasim are hefker, meaning kemidba is hefker like a desert. Whoever comes first and makes a chazaka is going to be zeich in it. Did Shmuel then say that the second yid is going to be zeich in it? Shmuel said din malchus adina, and right now we're accepting that the din malchus adina is that, he explains, the Gemara says, Umalka, and the Melech of Baba, that one is not cutting the karka only through receiving the star. According to this, in our case, the second person should not be cutting in the chasim, since he doesn't have the star. And we say only the one who receives the star is kaina. The first one is the one that bought it from the guy. He will be kaina according to din of the malchus adina when he receives the shtar from the guy. So how does Shmuel say that the second person is going to be zeicha? Amalei Abaya said back to Rav Yosef answered Amalei Abaya that Rav Yosef answered to Abaya. He says, I don't really know about this of Shmuel ben Ageya, the starkheit from Din and Malchus Adina, the strength of Din Malchus Adina. The Rashbam says he beferish did now. His kavanah was to bring you from a story from Shmuel showing you that Shmuel paskind this way, that the second person who comes and makes a chazaka, it's going to be a kinyan. Where do we see this? There was a story in the village of shepherds that what happened was when you sold this of an army, there was a yid who bought land from a guy. Another yid came and dug into the karka in order to be kained with a chazaka. They came before Rabbi Yehuda. Rav Yehuda placed the karka in the hand of the second person who came a Melech Hazaka. So you see, Rav Yehuda paskin that when a Yid buys a field from a guy with money, so now, right when he paid the guy money, the property is hefker, and whoever comes and makes a chazaka, he's going at first. So you see that surely this Sairah that Rav Yehuda said it was a student of Shmuel had said it from the mouth of Shmuel. So l'chayr it's a stira, didn't malchus adina. So the Rashbam says it's not a stira. The Emes, he says he held that the didn't malchus adina wasn't that the person by a guy. If somebody buys from the guy, the only way that it becomes a kinyan by the buy only when he receives the shtar. He didn't learn that was the. He learned that wasn't the chukim of the Medina. Amalei Abai said to Rav Yosef, "Do the Rava, sir, come. You bring me a raya from the village of shepherds. Hasam Bagi mitamri havu. They were hidden fields from the Melucha, meaning they didn't go by like Avi Yavi Taska Lamalka. They themselves, the Balei Hasadesh, the Goyim, didn't pay the taxes, and they hid these fields from the Melucha from giving taxes. Umalka Amma, and therefore the king called out, Man the Yoyo Taska, whoever will give the king taxes that was required that for this karka, Leichel Ara, could eat and take this karka, meaning will be kind of this karka, even though he didn't receive a shtamechira from the Bailim, from the original Bailim. So you see, Mitzatid and Malchusa, the original Bailim, weren't able to make any kinya because it wasn't theirs, because they didn't pay the taxes. Adarabah, the second Jew that made a chazak in the karka, he was zeichet without a star. The Yid who paid for it never bought anything because it didn't belong to the guy, and therefore Rabbi Yehuda placed the karka in the second Yid's hand, who came and made a chazak because the first Yid never bought anything. It never belonged to that guy who owed the taxes, and the government said it doesn't belong to him. The government said whoever comes and pays the taxes will be kainet. But in a place where the guy did pay the taxes, so maybe there the second Yid would not be able to be zeich in the karka, because the din of Malchus Adina was that the way the karka becomes kainet is only through the deed, and the first Yid got the deed, and therefore it's nishkenaya, and maybe it's not going to be a chazaka. He maybe cannot make a chazaka. The second Yid will not be able to make a chazaka. The only reason why they pass him there, because it never belonged to the guy lechatchila to sell it to the Yid. That's why the second Yid could come and make a chazaka. Rav Huna bought karka from a guy, and he gave the meya karka to the guy, but he didn't make a chazaka. Also, Yisalacha, another Yid came, Rafik Bapurta, dug a little bit in order to be connected with a chazaka. Also, Rav Nachman ukme beyode. He came before Rav Nachman. The story came before Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman gave it to the person who made a chazaka. Rav Huna was timing. My title. What was the basis of your psak? Is because that Shmuel said that the property of a goy has a din like hefke v'chol amas b'em zacha. Whoever comes first is zeich in the karka. So he says la'avid lei maki l'Shmuel. At least you're right, okay, but at least passing like this second din of Shmuel. The Amish Shmuel said before that somebody who sticks a spade in the karka of a geir or in hefke the karka like kana elam mekayim makush b'vad. He's only acquires only the place where the spade is stuck in. Amalei Rav Nachman said to Rav Huna Bahai, this thing benegayet to the being benegayet to the spade. Anas Vidalei, I hold like you that argues on Shmuel. Rav Huna Amarav, that Rav Huna Amarav said somebody who dug a little bit in the sada of hefker kimush enichlish v'makash echad, since he stuck one spade kind of kula, he was kind of all of it. And therefore, I'm passing this person who came and made a chazaka was sticking a spade. He was kind of all of it. Zog the Shalach Rav Huna bar Avin, Rav Huna bar Avin, had sent the following: Yisol shalach sod me'avit kechavim, a yid that bought a field from a guy, uba Yisol acher ichzik ba, and another yid came along and made a chazaka between the guy giving him, before the guy gave him the deed, or before the first yid made a chazaka. The second yid came and made a chazaka already. We don't remove it from the second yid's house, from the intruder's house. And so, with Rab Avin and Rabbi Ilah and all our teachers of Eretz Yisrael are in agreement with this halacha.